hang out properly. Right?
Yeah, you do. You need to read the manual.
Exactly.
RTFM.
Mm-hmm.
Live. We're live. All right. So, Esther,
Michael.
we just met.
I know, we
And
did.
yeah, so we know nothing about each other, and we met at Bill. And this is your first Bill?
This is my first bill. Oh.
Cool.
I gave a talk. Did you see my talk?
I missed your talk. I haven't seen anybody's talk. I haven't had time. We've been working on stuff.
I know, roaming around. Yeah, it was fun.
It was fun?
It was.
Okay.
Great.
What was your talk on?
How to take terrible and turn it into terrific. You know, like we all have stories, we all go through challenges, but some of us get stuck in it and we just tend to relive it in our mind for years and years. So how to take that and move past your story and turn those challenges into next opportunities for life.
Okay, cool. And so I heard you're writing a book on
I wrote a book, published it, and the name of the book is Breaking the Chains to Freedom.
Breaking the Chains to Freedom.
Yeah. Basically, we have the key to our chains that we're holding.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And what kind of stories do you tell in your book without making people not want to buy it?
I know, right? I talk about some of the challenges that I've been through in life, and I've been through a lot in a very short amount of time.
Okay.
And how I turned it around just by changing my perception and letting go of it.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah, and so now I'm actually, what I'm doing is I was thinking like, you know, most of us, especially with this whole conscious like revolution, you know, we go to like seminars and we go to conferences and, you know, we read a lot of really cool books. But a lot of us, whether we know it or not, like people don't, who needs it, but either doesn't know they have access to it or actually doesn't have access to it. And it's like this light bulb went off in my mind. I'm like, oh my God, I realized that I need to go to these shelters all over the country because either they can't or they don't know that they can have access to motivation and to inspiration. And so I'm doing this all over the country and I'm doing a documentary.
So where have you been so far?
All over LAOC, San Diego, all over New York. I actually just came back from New York and went to about 7 locations there in New York City, New Jersey.
Okay.
And now I'm starting to fundraise because I realize if I just keep using my own money, I'm going to end up bankrupt. It'll probably be my own story.
Have you tried Kickstarter yet?
I'm working with Fractured Atlas, which is a nonprofit organization, and so it's everyone who wants to donate to the cause, it's tax deductible, and I'm gonna probably use Indiegogo because anything that I do raise, I can actually keep.
Right, that's a film, like a Kickstarter for film. Is that right?
I'm
not familiar.
It's the same as Kickstarter, except with Kickstarter it's all or nothing.
Okay.
Indiegogo, it's not like that. So whatever I raise, I can actually keep.
Right.
My goal is to raise more than what I'm actually. But
what are you trying to raise?
50,000.
50?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Cool. 50,000 for a documentary is not that bad.
Right? Between all the travel, because I'm going all over the country.
Right.
So, and I plan to do the couch surfing and really just keep, dollars down.
Dollars down.
Yeah, just tell good stories.
Just don't eat at McDonald's.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Okay, excellent. Well, that's awesome. What about the conference? You've been here for almost 2 days now.
Yeah, the conference is awesome. I know I was talking to you before. It's like I feel like, have you ever had a situation where you felt like you needed to tell something to somebody, and either that person wasn't listening or you actually had nobody to talk to?
Right.
And so I feel like a lot of us go through that and we feel invisible or unheard or unacknowledged. And here, you're giving an opportunity for anybody who they want to say something, they could say it, and there's actually an audience of people that want to actually hear it. And that is so cool. And that's like really what I'm trying to do with people that really do feel invisible because of the judgment that society puts on them or whatever their own story that they go through. So I love it. I think this is an amazing experience.
Cool. So you're gonna help us organize the next one?
Yeah, absolutely. Totally.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm down.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
Cool. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we put in a lot of work on this. So yeah, it's good to hear.
Yeah, what even gave you the inspiration? Were you part of TED at one point, or?
No, that was actually kind of the problem. There's a bunch of us. It was a large group of us that wanted to go to TED in 2008, and not only could we not get an invite, we couldn't afford it even if we got invited. And despite having great ideas and things that we want to do, we just didn't have access to that network, basically.
Right.
And so
it almost feels like this aristocratic environment,
Right. And so we we had experience like throwing bar camps and other kind of unconference type stuff, and we just decided, 2 weeks before, we said, well, we'll just throw our own event, and we'll tailor it to that type of environment, these type of people that we want at the event, and reach out to them and their friends, and we'll get a bunch of these people together and just see what happens. And we had over 300 people show up the first year.
Wow, how did you get the word out so quickly?
A lot of news stations, NPR picked us up, and local radio stations, TV stations. They grabbed us like really quick.
Yeah, that's
so
what I'm looking for. I'm looking for
media. It took no time. Yeah, you gotta do something out of the ordinary.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah,
that's really, really cool. Yeah, I love that, the unconference, and kind of going against the norm almost, or just giving permission to do whatever it is you want.
Right.
That's really, really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty spectacular.
Wow. Now, how many of you got together to actually do that?
How many people? Or
how many were the original organizers and the original founders?
I don't know the exact number. There was quite a few. But the thing about BIL is that nobody was trying to necessarily take credit for it. We were just trying to get the community involved. So I would say that we had 300 people put it together. I mean, that's what we had. We had 300 people put it together.
Where does the name BIL come from?
Kind of a joke. Bill and Ted. Bill and Ted.
That's what I had a feeling. That's really cool.
Yep.
Nice.
It's funny. I tried to contact, I think his name's Alex Winter, the original Bill. Tried to get him to come, but no go.
Really?
Yep.
Why wouldn't he come?
He'd never responded to me, so I don't know.
Hysterical.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it would have been pretty funny to have him.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally.
We could have had him doing emceeing on these things.
I know, right? Yeah, it's fun. So, how does it work? Because I just literally signed myself up to give a talk this morning.
Yeah.
But how does it work with the main stage versus side stages, and there's so many talks going on.
Right. Well, the main stage, it used to be completely unconference style. Like, we didn't have any curated stages. We decided to curate stages, over the last, couple times because we needed a reason to have certain types of people show up at the event. So if we can make sure that we get some science people on a stage and give them a guaranteed time, then we'll attract more people who are interested in those types of topics. Because we want everybody, but we also want people who are thinking big.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
that's the whole idea, right?
Right.
Thoughts worth, what's the TED mantra over there? It's worth revealing or something like that? Or
something, yeah. We've all got the little small mottos. Ours is set minds free, so.
Set minds free.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. That works on so many levels. That's what I'm about, is just setting your mind free of the garbage that you keep in.
Right.
Let the garbage out. We've got so much. We were talking about it there in the whole relationship thing,
Right.
We all have certain rules. Most of it is garbage. If you can just let go of the garbage and the rules, you'd be so much happier.
I agree.
On so many levels.
I agree.
Yeah. It was amazing. I'll tell you one story. One of the shelters that I went to, because one of the things I have is a podcast, and it just goes back to just giving these people a voice. It started off as a podcast where, you and I do a podcast or whatever, and I'm like, okay, I can bring the podcast to the shelters and give them a voice.
Absolutely.
And I'm talking to one guy, and he's like, I'm a really bad person. And basically all he's done is smoke a little bit of drugs, and because he's black, he's gone arrested, and his whole life has been ruined. I'm like, you're not a bad person. And I had to kind of remind him, are you happy with everything you've done in your life? No, and I'm not happy with everything I've done in my life too.
Right.
And so sometimes we do things that necessarily don't always necessarily feel good. And if we just learn to reframe how we think about things and learn to just move from what feels good, then, we're always going to be happy, or we're going to move towards happiness. But, he wasn't a bad person. And so I gave him permission to speak and share his mind, and it just completely changed his whole aura. He was like, thank you for so much for giving me a chance to express myself. And I realized that just giving somebody a voice is so powerful. There was another guy, he came late to the podcast. And he goes, I came late because I took 10 minutes to write you a poem. Can I share the poem on this podcast? I mean, I'm fine. He's sharing a poem about freedom. And then he recites a poem that he wrote 20 years ago when he was locked up in jail in one of those boxes. about feelings.
Wow.
I mean, and he goes, and I'm a comedian, and I used to be a motivational speaker. I used to motivate people in substance abuse clinics. And I know that I touch people's lives, and I just want to be able to do what you do. And I'm like, you can do
Right,
what
absolutely.
I do.
Anybody can do it.
And it's like just kind of allowing the rules and the stigma for them to let go of it.
Right.
And then I'm hoping eventually, as Americans, we can let go of their stigma.
Right.
Because it's just these ideas we have in our mind. And so it's really like setting your heart free, setting your mind free.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's really great. It's really great to meet you, and I'm glad you're at BIL.
Oh, me too. It's so good.
All right.
Thanks for the hangout.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, it looks like we made out right there.
I know,
A little
right?
delay.
Yeah.
All right, bye guys.
Bye.